It's that time of year again in the wrestling calendar. It's one of my favourite times of the year, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. One of the more consistently good pay-per-views that WWE tends to do. 2011 Money in the Bank is one of my favourite pay-per-views of all time, so it's time to offer up my predictions for Money in the Bank 2016. So let's get to it! Let's start with the pre-show matches. Pre-show match number 1. Rocksteady, sometimes known as Sheamus, versus Apollo Crews. Now I have to say, the one thing that this feud has going for it that's actually any good is the fact that Apollo Crews wasn't smiling for a number of segments. That's the main thing this feud has accomplished. I don't care about either pre-show match, so I'm just gonna say I predict Apollo Crews will beat Sheamus, because he should beat Sheamus, and yeah, there you go. Pre-show match number 2! Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. I predict Baron Corbin will win. Let's move on to the real show. So, match number 1. The women's wrestling revolution is continuing strong now that the women's championship is once again pretty much meaningless. Natalya and Becky Lynch take on Dana Brooke and the WWE Women's Champion Charlotte in a tag team match. This week on Raw, a 3-minute women's match where the champion lost clean to someone who isn't relevant anymore. Well, it was fun while it lasted, guys. I would have said Natalya and Becky Lynch will beat Charlotte and Dana Brooke if it was on the pre-show, but since it's on the main show, I'm going to say Charlotte and Dana Brooke will defeat Becky Lynch and Natalya. Not really interested in this match at all. So moving on, match number 2. The United States champion Rusev I did that last time. It's Rusev. Defends his championship against the real deal, big deal, the deal, Titus O'Neil. Now this match I actually thought would be really interesting since Titus O'Neil hasn't had any kind of singles push of any kind in a very long time. He never really had much of a singles push even back when the Primetime Players split the first time. He's a bit more known among the fans now thanks to his suspension being lifted, and now he's back. And this build-up's been pretty lackluster, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that Titus O'Neil hasn't had any big wins or any major one-on-one victories of any kind, it's kind of weird that this feud now exists, because also Rusev has beaten Titus O'Neil up at every single turn, and Titus O'Neil hasn't had any momentum, so there's no way I can say anything other than Rusev retains the United States Championship at Money in the Bank. But I will say I'm happy that the rumours were not true and that Rusev is not going to just be a transitional champion for John Cena. It's nice that he's actually going to hold the belt for, you know, at least a month. That's good. Anyway, match number 3. Your WWE World Tag Team Champions, The New Day, defend their tag team championships in a fatal 4-way against Enzo and Cass, the Vaudevillains, and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, known as The Club. Now I'm really excited for this match because the tag team division has actually been elevated immensely in the last few months. It's just so good to see 4 fresh, interesting teams going at it for the championships. It's going to be great. Obviously the New Day aren't exactly fresh, but they're over, and the other 3 teams are all fresh, and it's great. So it's going to be an exciting mixture. And the best thing about this match is that I genuinely have no idea who's going to win this match. All 4 teams are well established, all 4 teams could win the titles, but genuinely I think it's going to be a fantastic match. It's going to be exciting. It's probably going to open the show, unless the Money in the Bank opens the show, but I can't decide. Like, I genuinely cannot decide. I've thought about Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows winning the titles. I've thought about Enzo and Cass finally winning the titles, even though I think they're my least favourites to win, simply because I want Enzo and Cass to chase the titles much more than the other people. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, to me, are the most logical heels to win it, simply because they're the fresh faction coming into a main event program with Cena as well, so it would make sense for them to have some momentum on their side. But I genuinely cannot choose between these 4 teams, so I'm going to have to go with the champion's advantage, because the champions, in the event of a disqualification or a countout, keep the belt. So in the event of me being completely unable to decide a winner, I'm going to say champion's advantage to the New Day, and the New Day retain their tag team championships. Match number 4. The WrestleMania quality dream match between AJ Styles and yeah, John Cena. I'm really looking forward to this match. I think this could be a fantastic match because regardless of what people think of John Cena, he brings out really good matches in his opponents. He does. In the last year, John Cena has been wrestling like a monster. It's been great. And he's had so many fantastic matches with the likes of Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Zack Ryder, Neville, Stardust. Like, he's had loads of great matches. And he elevates who he's in the ring with. And I think AJ Styles is going to put on the match of his life on Sunday. But I think now that Roman Reigns is their definition of the top guy, I really want to see John Cena vulnerable. I want to see him, yeah, he can sell the merchandise, he can kiss the babies, he can do the you can't see me, he can wear his wristbands, his cap, his shirt, he can do all of that. But AJ Styles has to beat Cena on Sunday. I like John Cena, especially a lot more in the last year, because he proved that he could bring out really good 5-star quality matches in a lot of people. And it takes two to tango, guys. And yes, he had some great opponents. You can't have a great match unless you have a great opponent, and Cena was a great opponent for them. But either way, the club needs some momentum, so regardless of whether or not they win the tag team championships, AJ Styles, in order to legitimize himself as a top star, he has just come out of the world title feud with Roman Reigns, he should beat John Cena. And I mean, that line that John Cena said a few weeks ago where he was like, oh, you couldn't get past Roman Reigns and now you get past John Cena? What better way to make Roman Reigns look good, since WWE want to do that, than make John Cena look secondary? Make John Cena the number 2 man behind Roman Reigns, then make AJ Styles the guy who beat him. And then, you know, you'll have a more interesting formula for the next few months and have AJ win the rivalry overall. But either way, that's for future bookings. So yes, I say AJ Styles defeats John Cena this Sunday at Money in the Bank. So, match number 5. Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose versus Alberto Del Rio in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, I only have one logical pick here, but I am going to say this is one of the more stacked Money in the Bank ladder matches in history. Like, it has, I would honestly say, 4 out of the 6 guys in this match could win it. That is the highest statistic, in my opinion, since the first Money in the Bank ladder match. So I love the fact that it's actually very unpredictable. I think Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Sami Zayn and Dean Ambrose are all very good logical picks. But there's only one. Only one guy makes sense. After this past year, he has been in main event level feuds, he has climbed up the mid-card, he's won championships, he's had fantastic matches on high-profile events, he is the only superstar besides Undertaker to have competed at every single pay-per-view in his rookie year, so I absolutely have to say the logical pick from the climbing and momentum perspective is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has to win the Money in the Bank. And also, if you tell me Kevin Owens wouldn't be an interesting winner, you're wrong. Because can you imagine a year of Kevin Owens holding the Money in the Bank briefcase? He's one of the most entertaining heels. In fact, I would probably go out on a limb and say he's the most interesting heel in WWE right now. He's the best heel. Funnily enough, I don't even know if this match will be the show stealer. I think there are 4 show stealer options in this card. But either way, this match could very well steal the show, especially given the competitors in it, the 5-star caliber of the competitors in it. But Kevin Owens absolutely is my pick to win Money in the Bank this year. Match number 6, the main event. WWE World Heavyweight Champion and resident good guy to the company and bad guy to the fans and the guy to himself, Roman Reigns, defends his World Heavyweight Championship against the returning Seth Rollins. I'm really excited about this match, and I do actually agree with WWE when they say that is a WrestleMania main event. I thought they might have saved that for WrestleMania, but I love that it's here. Regardless of what happens, I hope they're saving the Shield triple threat for WrestleMania, because that has to happen, and they need to build that and not let it fizzle out too much, because people still want to see it. And if you saw that segment on Raw this week with the Ambrose Asylum between Rollins and Reigns, you know people want to see it. It's going to be great seeing Seth Rollins competing again, because obviously he hasn't competed at all since he came back, I don't think. But I think this is going to be a fantastic match. It's going to be long, it's going to be hard-hitting, fast-paced, intense, because obviously they have the history. And I think I wouldn't be entirely surprised if this match ended on a disqualification, double count-out with them on the floor, like them not able to get up, or even a cash-in during the match. It could happen, but I don't think that one will happen. But regardless, I'm really sorry, guys, but I do not see Roman Reigns leaving Money in the Bank without the World Heavyweight Championship. Regardless, I do not think he's going to beat Seth Rollins clean. He should not beat Seth Rollins clean. Him beating AJ Styles clean, I wasn't surprised by. Even though I wasn't happy with it, I wasn't surprised by it. I will be genuinely surprised if they let Roman Reigns beat Seth Rollins clean. Because, like, yeah, they brought Seth Rollins back as a heel, but Seth Rollins was the best superstar they had last year. He was the biggest star. By the time he left with his knee injury last year, I genuinely was like, Roman Reigns would have a tough time with Rollins. Like, even though they're building him up as the next top guy, Rollins was unstoppable last year. Yes, he was winning a lot by heel tactics, but he was being built as such a credible champion. He held the belt for 8 months. But either way, guys, I'm sorry to say, I don't know how it'll happen, I don't know when it'll happen, and I don't know what exactly will happen, but Roman Reigns is going to walk out of Money in the Bank with the title. Hopefully not by pinning Seth Rollins, because that would be rubbish. But anyway, guys, those are my predictions for WWE Money in the Bank 2016. What are your predictions for the pay-per-view? Please put them down in the comment section below. And of course, if you like what you've seen here and you like my reaction, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And if you didn't like the reaction, well, of course, those were just my opinions. You're the opinionators. Please make your opinions known down below. I'm the Critic, and I'll be back again with something else new for you, and I'll see you later.